Hello, this is a video demo of Waitbusters Wait Line solution. What you're seeing here is what we call the guest manager. This is what the host or hostess would be looking at when they're sitting there and managing the wait line. As with everything, it first has to start with the setup. So we're going to go there right now. Go to the setup page, and here you see this grid here. This is where a host or hostess would sit there and build out their seating chart. You can build walls, tables obviously, add objects, and then there's even the server setup, which we'll get to in a second. So just to show you how easy it is, you would grab here, you want to add a table, you simply drag and drop it, pop it in there, give it a number, save, and now you have a table. Very similar thing, you could do that with walls as well. Very easy to sit there and add a wall, add windows, move things around. It's really, really easy to use. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Again, very easy. The next step, once you've built your restaurant floor plan, is to go ahead and create the service sections. So you click on this. You can have multiple shifts. We're just going to say weekdays here. We already have 2 servers set up. I want to add someone. So I'm going to go ahead, create a new one. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Add new. We'll just call this main 2. Server name is Joe. And the reason why there's phone here is we have a feature. If you input their phone number, it is completely optional. But what this does is when someone sits in Joe's section, he'll get a text message saying that his section has just been sat. It'll tell him the table number and the name of the guest if available. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So now we've created main 2 of Joe. I'm going to sit there and assign him some tables. It's very easy. 1, 2, 3, done. And there you go. We created this section for Joe. And you also can do a server rotation. So whoever will be suggested by the system of who should be sat next. And then obviously you can sit here and move this around, do this, and save. Now the next step is going to actually set up your automated SMSs. Because our system doesn't want people to have to use buzzers or pagers or yell out or anything, we really run a lot of stuff through SMS communications. This is the ability right here to actually customize how you want automated SMSs to go to your guests. You can decide not to do it at all, no notification, only when they reach their first spot, every time they move up a spot in line, or anytime they move up a spot after a certain number. So complete customization here. Now that we've done these, what I would call high-level settings, we're going to really start personalizing the experience in a much deeper way. So we're going to go back to the guest manager, and we're going to go ahead and look at the wait line settings themselves. So I'm going to go ahead, launch this. And what you see here is really a lot of customization for the wait line. The first thing you want to be able to do is customize the exact message that a customer receives when they get, they've gone ahead, they've gone into a wait line, and this is the content of the SMS that welcomes them. And it can be anything you want. You can put whatever you want content-wise in here. You also can put placeholders. That'll be the restaurant name. That'll be the quoted wait time. So it's a very powerful way to welcome your guest. And again, they get a text message and then you don't have to worry about a buzzer, pager, or anything else like that. The next thing you can do is you can set up whether you want your wait line to be closed automatically at the end of the shift or whatnot. It's optional. You don't have to. You can have anyone manually close the wait line, and this doesn't override that. But if someone forgets, the wait line's automatically closed, let's say at 2 a.m. here. We also have a wait line predictor, which I'll get to in a second. And then right here in this piece here is where you actually set up your wait lines. You can have just one wait line if you want, or you can have wait lines broken out per section. And this is very, very popular and used a lot because you're going to see here, for example, as you well know, that your one area of your restaurant may not be crowded that often, while you have another one that's very popular, and those wait line times should be different. So that's why you have the option to do that. You also have the option to have separate wait times quoted to customers based on the party size. So really nice flexibility, really good personalization here and customization to run the wait lines the way you want. I mentioned Waitline Predictor. You click here. What this does here is really allows the host or hostess not to have to worry about manually entering wait times. The system does this for them. It goes ahead and sit there based on a baseline turnaround time, based on availability, based on when people have been seated. It will sit there and automatically update wait times and for the wait line and whatnot. And it's a really nice feature to have, and a lot of people use it. Okay, so now that you've seen really some of the really nice customization you can do to your wait line, we're going to go ahead. I'll just save this. And then we're going to go ahead and actually look at a feature that's very unique. It's called Jump the Line. Again, like everything else, it's optional. It's really easy to set up. What it does, it gives a guest the opportunity to skip a wait line, go straight to the head, to the front of the wait line for a cost that goes straight to you. So that's a fee that you can charge. You can turn it off or on. You set it up. You can, set whatever price you want. Was it $20, whatever, update. Once you do that, then you just need to go ahead and pick a table you want to put back in reserve for Jump the Line. And then you would go ahead and you would put here, hold for Jump the Line. And now that table could not be seated. It's reserved solely for Jump the Line, and that's where they would be. Go ahead. So it's a very cool feature. As we're continuing along with the setup, another thing that you may or may not want to use is what we call custom fields. This is ability to personalize questions or fields that you ask a guest as they are getting into a wait line, for example, from your web page or from an SMS. These are just questions you can ask that really offer a more personalized experience. They're captured and then they're presented to the host or hostess in the guest manager. As you can see here, what do you say? A booster seat. So I select a booster seat and now this shows up. So it's really, really handy. And then another thing, obviously, is settings. There's tons of settings for the seating chart. As you can see here, if you want to show the layout, if you want to hide any of these things. For example, let's say you want to hide Jump the Line. You can do that. You can just go down, up and down, and just pick. There's so many of these settings that really help manage the experience. And it's really important. The reason why we came up with all these different settings here is because every operation is different. Apply, and now you can see the Jump the Line feature is gone. So you can hide and show that, and you can do that with just about every option on the seating chart. So some core functionality, you can turn it on, wait line off, you can turn it off. This will close the wait line, or you can actually sit there and pause the wait line. If you hit disable, what that means is that the people in the wait line will not be kicked out of it, but no more people can get into the wait line. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I got too many people. I'm just going to put it on pause, take care of the people that are already in the wait line, but not let any others get in the wait line. So it's very, very useful feature. So as I've mentioned prior, people can get into wait line on many different ways. They can do it from your website. They can do it from SMS. They can do it via call concierge. There's many different ways for someone to get in a wait line. But obviously, you need to be able to add someone at a walk-in, and that's really easy to do. You go down here. You're even sitting here, so the host or hostess sees whose section should be seated, okay, based on the server rotation that was created before. So you can go ahead and do that. All right, we'll go ahead. We're going to see the walk-in. And you can, phone number is optional. If you have any special requests, you can add them, and you go ahead and seat them. And so now walk-in has been seated. You can also add someone to the wait line manually. And let's just say they're a walk-in. They don't give you their name. You can go ahead and add them. And now they've been added to the wait line. So you go ahead and do this. It's really, really easy to do. And very, very visual. It's simple. It's probably, we thought about as many features as we possibly can. You can also see via specific line. Your customers right here now, it's showing everybody. But if you want to say, oh, I want to just see who's on the patio, then you can just go ahead and that just shows everybody that's in the patio. And you go ahead and then you can go back to seeing everybody in the house. You can see the party details, the size, where they're seated. You can see all these icons. That means I'm a VIP. Here's my special request. You can see now how long they've waited versus how long they were quoted. And the minute this starts approaching this number, it turns to red. So automatically the host or hostess knows that the person has waited too long. You can see where their location is compared to the restaurant. Okay, 2.2 miles away, driving time 6 minutes. Yeah, they can make it in time. So I should be able to go ahead and seat them. All these other things, you can see the profile, and this is just all based on history, on what they've done, whether wait line, whether they've ordered food, it doesn't really matter. Anything, any touch point will display here. When the person's physically in the restaurant, you can check them in. So I'm checked in here. It means, okay, I'm checked in, and just here's a counter of how long I've been checked in. You can go ahead and text message them. Table's now ready. Go ahead, shoot that out. And they will get the text message, and then they can respond. And if they do respond, then you will suddenly see a flag once they respond that's down here showing, oh, message came in. So the host or hostess now knows that they need to reply. So they click here and they can see the text message and all the history. So that's an awesome tool right there. I'm back here. Obviously you can seat the person, you can remove them from the wait line, and then you can mark them as a no-show, which means they'll have to pay a deposit next time. Again, completely optional. Seating is really super easy. You just grab person here and you drag and drop them to a table, and boom, they've been seated. So very, very cool things here. Also lots of really nice indicators on an exact table. You can see everything about the table when it was seated. You can see what stage, or you can go ahead and add a stage of the meal they're at. You can obviously make a table available, all sorts of things. You can make it needs cleaning. You can even merge tables. There's so much that you can do with the software. And now you see this. Also, it's really helpful. People use this a lot. We're going to go ahead and change the status of this table to needs cleaning, update. And now you see it as it needs cleaning. So this is very cool. And again, all these are indicators for the host or hostess to see what's going on. And they can go through it. They can tell how long things are happening, what's going on. They can see here their servers, their rotation, who's got how many covers, who has many covers now, what the historical number of covers is. It's just really, really a fantastic wait line management tool. And we spent, 5 years building this out. And I think we probably, I can't say we thought of everything, but we'll probably, really taken our time to make this an awesome piece of software.